Hello Indie fan, here are more fantastic hidden gems and updates, beginning with Live by the Sword Tactics, a neat-looking isometric pixel art title with a fantasy theme, where two brothers journey across the kingdom to prevent the land from falling into conflict, with an interesting 5v5 battle structure being of interest to fans of the genre. One of the hidden gems from July this year is Dungeons of Sundaria, where it really is an old school RPG title that we don't really see these days for better or worse, with combat that does resemble an MMO and does have, let's just say, not the most modern of visuals. However, it is pretty good and is a nice change from what we usually get, releasing the Icy Depths update, which of course adds a new freezing cold dungeon and its associated enemies, making this even better as early access goes along. This video is brought to you by Shave and Stuff, a VR barbershop title that has you playing as the barber, going to town on your customers in order to give them their desired look. You have a variety of tools at your disposal, including a straight razor, clippers, a hair dryer, tools to dye hair different colors, and most interestingly, the ability to regrow hair if you mess it up. Going to the barber can be somewhat of a sacred experience to guys, so to translate that into a game is neat, where you're ranked on a 3-star system based on how close you get to the desired look. It is currently in early access on the Oculus Quest store and has been fairly well received so far, so if you do own a headset, do give this a look. The Legend of Tianding is an excellent action platformer from 2021 which I really like, where you play as a Taiwanese folk hero in colonial Japanese Taiwan. The developers are back with the untitled free DLC, where the primary additions are a boss rush mode as well as an online leaderboard to compare to your friends. With additional tweaks and optimizations for ultra-wide monitor and 4K 120 FPS support, making this even more of a no-brainer, especially if you have not picked this up. Additionally, the developers are also taking pre-order for an adorable plushie of the main character, so if you do love this game, do look into this. A pretty neat looking
farm simulation RPG
is Blue Oak Bridge, one that pretty much checks all of the boxes of games in the genre, from farming, foraging, fishing, mining, crafting, and raising animals, with a touch of the magical with potions and fantasy elements as well. There are 30 characters to befriend, with some romanceable options as well, all set within the context of a cozy little village with a central ancient blue oak tree at the center of it all. It looks super cozy and seems to be overlooked, where the mixed reviews on Steam primarily seem to be due to technical issues, so I'll watch this one to see if those issues get ironed out, but is otherwise a beautiful title worth a look. Another title of interest from November is Timeloop Sink Again Beach, a first-person narrative adventure game with an interesting look and story centered all around pirates.
You almost died just now. I've always thought about you.
Of course, from the name of the game, there is a time loop and time travel element which leads to a non-linear narrative where, if done right, can be something special in games, and based on the general feedback so far, seems to be doing exactly that.
What are you doing here?
I'm the new priest on this island.
Someone to help me sail away from this cursed island.
Honestly, I was pretty surprised to get an email from Steam that End State has been released, since this is a very long in development turn-based tactics title where you are managing a mercenary company sent to take on missions to dispatch off terrorists in war-torn countries. I went to their YouTube channel to check, and apparently the first teaser trailer for this game released about 7 years ago, so you can understand why I was surprised, but thankfully it was of the nice variety since this early access version seems good, with more to come over the next year or so leading up to the 1.0 release. I have to give a special shout out to Mindustry as well, a factory builder tower defense game that is one of the best in the genre, where somehow they've just released an update which brings the game to version 7.0. That's right, it's not 1.0 or 1.1 or even 2.0, but 7.0 shows the sheer amount of work that has been put into this game, and it shows. Well, I'll give you the highlights from this update. This adds a new campaign with a whole new planet, coming with a new tech tree, units and even blocks that you can place down, with units including new tanks, insectoid walkers and hovercrafts, and new turrets including missile launchers, lasers and artillery. This is the largest update to the game since launch, taking more than 1 year to complete, where the developer notes that they got a little burnt out in making this, but will continue to provide support and are not ruling out future content updates, so if they see this, from all of us here in the indie game community, thank you and go get your R&R. I'll give you a couple of seconds to guess which developer this game is from based on the art style alone. Go on. Yes indeed, this is the next title from the Sock Pop Collective, who do have quite a distinct visual style for some of their games, where the 4-person team have made a huge catalogue of games and have one of the more interesting business models, with their latest being the RPG title Spring Blades. While it looks like a turn-based RPG, it self-describes as an action RPG where you do have to react in real time, attack and dodging during combat, and is pretty unique. Hey look, it's the winner of the Best Chaos Simulator, where Vampire Survivors released the tiny update, adding this insane bridge level with more of the best of 2022 here.